People generally see what they look for and hear what they listen for. To Kill a Mockingbird. Hello everyone, my name is Emma Woodhouse, and what follows is a video of a certain someone who just can't help but be a stick in the mud.
Emma, you're blowing this out of proportion. Besides, I didn't say he was bad, only that I wasn't very impressed.
For you, that's the same thing. Now, so we can look back on this and laugh once you realize that I'm right and you're wrong, tell future George what we're talking about.
Future self, Emma is off her rocker.
That's not what we're talking about. Future George, we're talking about Dr. Weston's long-lost son who returned on Thanksgiving. You know, Frank Churchill. Future selves, George is, unsurprisingly, being judgmental about Frank simply because he's George, and impressing him is more difficult than getting a camel through the eye of a needle.
Future selves, Emma is exaggerating.
Really? Here's a direct paraphrase. I think something about Frank is a little fishy. I don't like him, and I don't see why everyone else thinks he's so great. Can you even think of 5 legitimate reasons why you don't like him?
Yes, I can, but what's the point?
Well, I'm not convinced you can.
Fine. Here are 5 reasons. Reason 1, Frank is a show-off. He thinks he does everything well and isn't afraid to tell you so.
Reason number 1, that George is wrong. Frank is good at many things. He also happens to have a very healthy self-confidence that is both rare and sometimes misunderstood. I think George might have found his Jane Fairfax.
Reason 2, Frank has very little respect for his dad. If he did, he would visit him more often and would value spending time with him.
Reason number 2 why George is wrong. Frank has a horrible aunt who's very demanding. Just because he feels compelled to care for the woman who raised him does not mean that he's disrespecting his dad.
Reason 3, Frank is impulsive. He dropped in on Thanksgiving dinner without even warning the Westons.
Reason number 3 that George is wrong. The Westons didn't mind a bit that Frank came early for Thanksgiving. I think it shows how much he wanted to see them that he came early, especially against his aunt's wishes, might I add. I think it also shows how he wanted to make them happy by surprising them.
Reason 4, Frank seems to think that everyone is interested in hearing all about him. Really, we've lived a long time without ever meeting him, and it is nice, but I don't need to hear his life story.
Reason number 4 that George is wrong. He's the only one who seems to not care about Frank, and I think that says more about George than it does about Frank, don't you? Besides, George is just annoyed that no one wanted to hear about his boring law books that he's been reading.
Reason 5, Frank likes to make fun of other people. He thinks he hides it, but it's pretty obvious and fairly offensive at times.
And the final reason that George is wrong, Frank isn't actually making fun of people. It's called sarcasm. He should be familiar with that by now. Seriously though, he's been like this ever since Frank got here. Now normally, I highly value George's opinion, but in this case he's wrong. Frank is a really cool guy. I'm even thinking of seeing if he'll come help with the videos, since he seems like the sort of person that I could really trust with the fact that I post this online. Whereas with George, Anyway, remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe, and have a lovely day. Bye!